Hey everybody, it's Mr. Mon, and we're going to be talking about Lesson 6 getting started today. On page 52, you should have taped in Lesson 9 objectives. On page 53, you're going to put your vocabulary. We have 7 different vocabulary words for Lesson 9. And on page 54, your topic is getting started. Focus question is, what is climate and how is it determined? And then a couple life vocabs for you. Fluctuation, all right. An irregular rising and falling in number or amount, and torrential, falling rapidly or in great amounts. For introduction today, I'm going to read this aloud to you. You're going to find this on page 140 in your textbook. Climatology is a scientific study of Earth's climates. The history of climatology is short, with major scientific work beginning only about 100 years ago. In that time, scientists have learned how to map climates using weather data from multiple seasons and years. In this lesson begins with first definitions of climate zones, which were made in the 19th century. After learning about climate zones, you will interpret weather data to determine the climate of a location and then communicate your findings to the class. So our objectives for Lesson 9 are in front of you, and today we're going to focus on examining natural climate zones on Earth and examining factors that influence climate. Here are your 7 vocabulary. For number 1 of getting started, it says, in past lessons, you have learned about weather as well as predicting and tracking weather. In this lesson, you will learn about climate. You will work in small groups to investigate Earth's climate zones and locate your climate zone on a map. You will also investigate how data can be used to help determine the climate of a geographic region. Remember to follow your teacher's instructions carefully throughout the lesson and complete your work neatly and accurately. For number 2 of getting started today, you're going to define or predict what climate is and how we categorize different climates. And you record this in your notebook. So at this time, you should take a couple minutes and define what you think climate means, and then predict how we categorize different climates. And then for number 3, you're going to share those ideas with your group, and then add those definitions to your notebook as needed. For number 4, with your class, we're going to review what you know about weather and climate, and you should read the Building Your Knowledge, Weather versus Climate, and there is a short video on Google Classroom that you should watch. And then finally, number 5, you're going to read Building Your Knowledge, Climate Classification Systems, and you record the characteristics of all the different zones on the graphic organizer, and that goes on page 53. And you need to figure out which climate zone you live in. So as you can see in front of you here, you have the 5 different types of zones. You have the temperature. You're going to record what the temperature would be in those zones, precipitation, the locations, and any other info you find. So this is your note sheet for the different climate systems. And then in the back, there's a map, and then you should begin to color the different zones on the map. So, to-do list for today, Lesson 9, getting started, steps 1 through 5. You're going to want to read Weather versus Climate in your textbook on page 142. After that, you're going to want to read Climate Classification Systems. That's in your textbook, page 143 to 145. And as you're reading that, you should complete the note sheet. The vocabulary you should have done by the end of the hour are climatology, weather, climate, and Köppen climate classification systems. And if you get time at the end, you should read Investigation 9.1. If you have any questions, let your teacher know, and have a great day, Cardinals.